Hi friends, it's Becky, and it is time for me to open up my Adornable Elements Beads of the Month subscriptions. There are 6 different subscriptions that are available from Adornable Elements. One is the Seed Bead subscription, the 11 Seed Beads of the Month, and I do subscribe to that one. The next are the 2-hole Beads of the Month Club, also subscription that I really enjoy. So I get both of those. I also get a rotating Beads of the Month Club, which rotates through all 6 of them. So in addition to sometimes getting an extra 11 seed beads of the month, I'll sometimes also get an extra 2-hole beads of the month. But then other months I'll get the Delica beads of the month, the gemstone beads of the month, the fire polish beads of the month, and the hot and trendy beads of the month. And the hot and trendy usually include some check glass beads that are fun and different. You might get some 3-hole beads. You might get some different check glass shapes in there as well. So it's a really fun subscription to have as part of it. So if you have trouble deciding, like I do, the rotating Beads of the Month Club is really, really fun to do. These are the ones for my April subscription. If you use my code, which is going to be in the description below, to subscribe, you'll get some money off of your first subscription, but they'll also try their best efforts to match you up with the versions that I'm getting in any of the ones that I'm getting, the 11 the 2-holes, or the rotating Beads of the Month. They also have an add-on, which is a finding companion pack that you can add to your thing, and I subscribe to that one as well. It looks like this one is a copper assortment. So let's open this up and take a look at this. If you don't like surprises and you're waiting for yours to get there, go ahead and hit save for later, and you can come back and watch this after you get your box. But if you want to see what's in here, then let's go and see. So for the 11 Seed Beads of the Month, I got this is the theme Memories of Spring, and the seed beads are just absolutely gorgeous, springy, floral colors, like these yellows and pinks and peaches and blue and purples and blues. It's just really, really pretty. And then for the Santa Fe theme, 2-hole Beads of the Month, we've got some more deserty turquoises, some sandy colors, things like that. But they all will actually, there's several of these seed beads that go with and can enhance a lot of these 2-hole beads, so they could be worked together pretty easily and pretty well. I don't know why I've got so many of these crescent beads in here in this section. Where did you guys come from? It must have happened when I was getting the lids off of here. So we're going to go through and look at each of these in turn. The 11 seed beads of the month come in these 10 gram, or is it 7.5? I think. Is it 10 or 7.5? I can't remember. I will put it in the description below, though, where we've got these sections. And then if you are a subscriber with the double amount subscription, because you can subscribe either for the single amount, which I get, or double, you get twice as many beads for each of the subscriptions. In fact, my rotating Beads of the Month this month is 2-hole beads, so I've got a second package of these Santa Fe 2-hole beads. We're definitely going to be making some things with that this month. Can't wait to share that with you. But we'll do that, and then after I go through all of these beads, we'll take a look at our Findings companion pick. So let's start with our 11 seed beads, and I'm just going to pick this guy up and bring that close. Zoom in so that we can actually take a really good look at these 11 seed beads. Now these are Duracoat silver lined dyed pink seed beads. I love that color of pink. It is not too bright, it is nice, and I mean, I do love bright pink, but I also like a nice dusky kind of a pink like that. Next, we've got some Duracoat opaque dyed light pink, and it says light pink, but it is a much more peach color, so it's very orange leaning of a pink. Love those. Then we've got Duracoat Silver-Lined Dyed Lavender. These guys there. And Duracoat Opaque Dyed Pale Purple. And these are a really nice lilac-y kind of a color. Then we've got Matte Opaque Light Denim Luster. That is a really pretty toned down blue. And Silver-Lined Cornflower Blue. It's this one here. That's a really beautiful blue as well. And then Duracoat Silver-Lined Dyed Light Yellow. And this is just such a happy color. These are light yellow lined crystal AB. So it's a crystal AB with a light yellow lining in the middle of them. Super happy, super lovely. Let's move on to our 2-hole beads. We'll start here with our piggy beads. And piggy beads are shaped sort of like a cup button, and they have 2 holes, one in the center and one towards the outer rim. One of the fun things about the piggy beads is if you do some sort of like offset sort of things with which hole you string them with, you can get some really fun texture effect when you're stringing with them. But they can also be used in some bead weaving designs as well. And then we've got Silk Blue Taupe Tile Beads. These are check glass tile beads. They're square beads with 2 holes that run parallel to 2 of the sides. And then we've got Turquoise Travertine Silky X's. And these silky beads are also square, but instead of the holes running parallel to 2 of the sides, they run kitty corner, like kind of the same direction that these X's are running. Through that, they have a flat side and then an X on one side. For the silky beads, I do love silky beads. They are a lot of fun to play with. Then we've got some oxidized chartreuse crescent beads. These guys here. These are all 2-hole beads. And then luster transparent gold brick beads. And the brick beads are basically brick shaped. They're a little bit rounded on the edges. They're about the same size lengthwise as the tile beads, but just a little bit longer. And then we've got more silkies, but these are mini silkies, and these silkies have a bump on one side. And again, they've got the kitty corner holes that go crosswise, so they sit like a diamond. And these are probably one of my favorite Parpuga shapes. And Parpuga is just a manufacturer of 2-hole beads. These are blue turquoise silk matte kheops. And the kheops are these triangle shaped beads that have 2 holes on one side. There we go. And then a single hole on each of the other 2 sides. I've used them in several different designs over my my subscription with Adornable Elements. They are lots of fun to work with. And then we've got some super duos, and super duos are one of the most popular forms of 2-hole beads out there. These are metallic suede light green super duos, and I got a, yes, they are 12.5 grams. So I got a 12.5 gram one of those, 6 grams or 6.5 of the kheops. The mini silkies were 25 of them. I got 35 of the bricks. We got 7.5 grams of the oxidized chartreuse crescents, 20 of the silky travertines, the X's, 25 of the silk blue taupe tiles, and for these we got 25 of the opaque Picasso piggies. So let's zoom back out just a little bit so you can look at all of these together, and I am going to pull out our findings and we'll take a look at those in a little more detail. I do like getting the Findings Companion Pack because sometimes you get findings that are a little more difficult to find or that are fairly unique and can be lots of fun. Ooh, we've got some really unique findings in here, guys. Take a look at these. These are lever clip-on earring findings. So if you don't have pierced ears, you could use these to make some earrings. That is so cool. They are hinge screw back, so you can adjust the size with the screw back to make sure that they don't pinch too much, or if they start slipping off, you can... Why are you not focused? Oh, because there's such interesting things behind us. Here we go. Yeah, so you can screw that in, bring that back out. These are really cool. And it looks like I've got, how many of them? 1 pair. That is what I call a unique finding. They are in that bright copper color. All right, next we've got some 3.8 millimeter cable chain. I've got 36 inches of that, 3 feet. Okay, and it is being kept tidy with this cable chain. How lovely is that? Stick that over there. The rest of these. And then we've got an ice pick leaf bail. There are 2 of these. And there's the little leaf on there. And then the 3-strand filigree box clasp. There are 2 of these. It's one side and the other. And box clasps have this pinchy bit that slides in and out. There we go. Of the box. This would be fantastic for 3-strand designs. Next, I've got a fancy pendant loop. It's one of these. Is that this guy here? So that's a good way to add a little extra bling or element to a pendant, to add it, to string it. Have that on there. And then smooth ear hooks with backs. We've got some silicone backs for these. There's 2 pair of these. And I'm actually going to set one of these over here on my mat for in just a little bit after I've done the unboxing, because after I've done the unboxing, I'm going to make myself some earrings with some of these beads, because I challenged myself to make a pair of earrings every day for the month of April, and I haven't made today's earrings yet. So we're going to add these guys over here to my pile of findings. And then I've got a flower head pin. That's these guys here. They look like a little daisy spacer on the head pin part. And there's several of these. It looks like we've got 6 of them. And this is a nice long head pin. You could stack a lot of beads on these. Like, I don't know, 3 inches, probably. We've got some oval jump rings. They are 5mm oval jump rings, again, in that bright copper color. Like that. And this S hook. It is a rope S hook. It's got this little rope detail in the middle of it. And we've got 2 little loops on the other ends for a closure, and there's one of those in the Findings companion pack. So let's take another look at these before I start making myself a pair of earrings. And I think I might use the kheops and a silky. Let's see if we can fit these together like this. With some yellow beads, maybe. Let's try with some yellow beads. Which yellow beads though? How about some of these? All right, so this is going to be a bit of a design on the fly. I'm going to set this out of the way so that I don't accidentally bump it or something while I'm creating, and also so that it's not so distracting for my camera that I can't actually see what I'm doing. So let's use these guys and some wire. I know I just had some wire. Oh, there it is. I have some 26 gauge wire because I'm going to be making a little bit of a beading design. Let's pull off. How much wire should I get? Let me grab some tools real quick. Got some chain nose pliers. I have some flush cutters. And where are my round nose pliers? Because I am going to need to make a loop at some point. So let's cut off about, that's about 10 inches, 9, 10. All right, and let's do 3 11/0 seed beads in the center of this wire. I'm just going to hold both ends together. Run my fingers along here to try and get those 11/0s right into the center. I'm going to need to move these a little bit closer together so that these will go through my kheops bead. I'd like them to go through both of the holes on the side that has 2 holes. Just slide these down here like that. Now, let's see. How many 11/0s should I put on the next little bit? About 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. Yeah, 4 might be a good number for that. Let's do 4 on the other side of my wire. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't be afraid of 2-hole beads, friends. They are really fun to fit together. And now I'm going to go through my silky. My X marks the spot silky. And there we go. That's how the holes go. Actually, maybe 3. I'm going to take this off and take off 1 11/0 from each end of my wire and put this back on. I'm just making some real quick, real simple earrings. There we go. And now 3 more 11/0s on each end of my wire. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Right, and then we're going to put on that next kheops. This time I'm going to go from the pointy end down You know, I might decide to change my mind and flip these kheops around. So instead of pointing towards my little plus sign here, they might be pointing away from it. You should always feel free to change your mind if you don't like what you are making. So let's take these guys off. Everything except for those original 3 seed beads down at the end. And now I'm going to add another seed bead to each side, so I have 5 seed beads at the bottom instead of 3, because with the pointy end of the kheops, I'm going to want it to make a crown above and over that point. So I'm turning this around. I'm going to go through this on each side of the triangle. On the sides that have only one hole, each hole is going to get a wire. There we go. See how that makes a little crown over the kheops? I think I might actually need one more on each side. So this will end up being 7 11-ohs instead of 5. Again, we're designing on the fly, friends. This is part of designing with seed beads and tool beads, is trial and error. Seeing what fits, and if it doesn't fit, start over. Do it differently the next time. Add a bead here to make it fit better, take a bead off to make it fit better, whatever you need to do to make these fit. There we go. That's a little bit better. All right, so we decided that 3 was what we needed before, so let's keep going with 3, even though we don't have the kheops point in the way. I do sometimes like just 3 11-ohs between beads. It just satisfies my little, I don't know, there's something about it. It feels balanced. There we go, like that. And then 3 more 11-ohs. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So for this one, we're going to have the point pointing away from our plus sign. So I'm going to go through the side of the kheops that has 2 holes in it with both of my wires. Like that. All right, and I'm gonna need, let's do 2 11-ohs on each strand, and then I'm gonna make a loop. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, I'm just doing a little pinch right here with my wire to bring those together. I'm going to take my round nose pliers, right there where they meet. I'm just going to tip this over to the side and then push the wires around one of the loops on my round nose pliers. And I want it to keep going the rest of the way, but this lower jaw is in the way. So I'm going to open it, rotate it, and keep going. And I'm just going to wrap that around the neck a couple of times. And now I've got myself a little loop that I can attach to my ear wire. So now that I have figured out how to do it, let's make a second one. And then we can attach our ear wires. So I need 2 more kheops and 1 more silky for this. And then another length of wire. Quick and fairly easy. I do like the way that that looks. All right, let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 11-ohs, because that's what we started with, remember? Put these ends together, run my fingers down towards the bottom, make sure those beads are right there. Give it a little bit of a pinch to get them together, but you don't want to pinch it too hard because you don't want to have any kinks. All right, and now I'm going to put on my first kheops. I'm going to put each end of my wire through each of the two sides that only have a single hole, so that they're coming out of the side that has two holes. Slide it down to the bottom. 1, 2, 3 on each strand of the 11-ohs. 1, 2, 3. And now my silky. I'm going to go through each of the silky holes with each of the strands of wire, and then 3 more 11-ohs. 1, 2, 3 on each wire. 1, 2, 3. Now the kheops. We're going to go through this side with 2 holes first, like that. I'll bring it down. I need a few more 11-ohs. Let me grab a couple out of that dish because I need 2 on each end. I only had 1 more left on my mat. So 2 on that end, 2 on this end. All right, so we're up here. I'm just going to use my fingers to pinch those 2 ends of the wire together a little bit better to move them in. And grab my round nose pliers. I'm going to make a loop the same way. Tip it over, bring it around, rotate, and keep going. Maybe don't get the 11-oh in the way. There we go. I just had to move that. It got caught on my wire, which is something that can happen. Right. Let's attach our ear wires. So this is going to be my earrings everyday project for today, the 13th of April. So these ear wires have a loop here that I can just swing open using my chain nose pliers. I can attach this loop that I created on these drops, close that up. And now I have these pretty blue and yellow earrings using these seed beads and 2-hole beads from my Adornable Elements Beads of the Month subscriptions. That was actually really fun to figure these out. We'll do some more designs a little bit later in the month, I think, but that is a good start. All right, I'm going to bring out the others once more for one last look before I bid you adieu. And now you're probably thinking, adieu what? Adieu something. that was a joke. So here's our earrings. And there are the rest of my Adornable Elements. I hope y'all are having a fantastic day, a fantastic weekend. I will put links in the description below to Adornable Elements, to the Bead of the Month. And if you are a subscriber, don't forget to find the pattern. I've got my thumb over it. There is a URL that changes every month with free patterns for subscribers on your packing slip. Go bookmark it if you're a subscriber so you can make more things with these. Until next time, happy beading.